Hi, my name is Trina, and this is the Anointed to Dance TikTok page. The purpose of this page is to assist all liturgical dancers across the globe and praise dancers, many of you may know us as, across the globe in bringing their dance ministry to another level in God and for God. Now, if this is your first time viewing my video, I encourage you to go to my page and look at previous content that I've provided, whereby my guests and I are giving tips, recommendations, words of wisdom, and of course, scriptural references as relates to the dance ministry. Now, if you would like for me to review one of your dance videos, then let me know. And also, if there are topics or if there's a particular topic you would love to hear me discuss, then let me know that as well by placing your comment in the comment box down below. I appreciate it. I would love to hear from you. Now, last week, the topic of discussion was the importance of fasting and praying. And today, we're going to talk about promoting your dance ministry events in the church. How do you go about it? No, yes, we are living in a world of technology, new millennium things going on. You think everybody knows about technology and how to do things and promote ministries, the dance ministry, or whatever event that they have going on. We can't always assume that everybody knows what they're doing. Everybody is computer savvy. Everybody's not, and we can't always assume that. So that's why I'm here, to assist and to give you guidance and tips for those who need the assistance, and also those who are experienced in computer and in the software and everything else, and promoting and marketing skills. If you're experiencing that, you just never know. I may be able to assist you as well, maybe just a little bit. We'll see. Well, how do you go about promoting your dance ministry event in the church? That's what we're going to talk about. So first, you need to think about what exactly do you want to do? Do you want to do a dance workshop? Do you want to do a dance conference? Or do you want to do a dance concert? Is it a workshop, conference, or concert? So first and foremost, you want to think about what exactly you want to do out of those three. Those are three major events that many dance ministries embark upon. And I've had the experience of doing at least two. I've done two, the dance workshop and then a dance concert. And I'll talk about, my experience a little more as we go along. Now, once you think about what event you want to put on, the next thing you want to think about is your purpose, your goal. Why do you want to do it? Is it to inspire? Is it to to encourage? Is it to motivate? Is it to educate? Is it to just network and create a larger platform with other dance ministries in the church, across the globe, in the Christian world, should I say, in the Christian world, or God-given world, should I say. All right, so you want to think about, why are you going to do this? What's your purpose? What's your goal? So after you've thought about that and considered that and written that, and my thing is write everything down. You want to, like God said, the Bible says, make it, have a vision, write it down and make it plain. Okay, write it down and make it plain. So you write everything down. I'm a writer. I love writing things down. So you want to write these things down, any ideas that you have, you come up with. And of course, as always, you want to pray. You want to include God in it. Definitely pray and ask God for guidance, for a vision, for protection from anything that could take place while you're in the process, because the devil can get busy, honey. He surely can get busy. Many of you are witnesses to that, because I know I am. And you want to ask for protection and favor. You definitely want and need favor when you're putting on these events, whatever it may be, the concert, workshop, or conference, concert, workshop, or conference. So you want to think about those things. Why are you doing it? What's your goal? What's your purpose? And you want to keep those things in mind and pray. And on top of that, you want to think about your budget. That's very important when putting on one of these particular events. You want to think about your budget. How much do you want to spend? How much of a profit do you want to make? And that helps determine how many people you want to attend. That can help you kind of calculate your profit, possible profit. And then you want to determine with all of these, how much you want to charge. Let's say if it's a conference or a concert, let's just say a conference. Usually conferences, there's a registration fee that takes place. So there's a fee. So you have a particular number of people you have in mind, a number of attendees. Let's say you say, I really would like and praying for and believe in God for at least 100 people. So you think about the 100 people and how much you want to charge to get in, because you want to think about the venue. Yeah, of course, it should be at the church, but at the church, you want to, of course, communicate with the administrator of the church, communicate with their pastor, and whoever else is part of that particular extended team, because you want to create your own team, but I'm talking about the extended team right now as it relates to the church and following protocol. I know some people who don't like protocol, and there are some people who don't really like to do that, follow the steps, the important steps of getting to where you need to go. So communicate with the administrator who can assist you in picking a location, because some churches have different venues, multi-purpose buildings, larger rooms, and aside from using the actual church. And there are some churches that they only just have the church. There are no extra or extended portions of the building or extra venue that's attached to or affiliated with the church. So you want to get with the administrator to communicate with them, to kind of figure out what's available, how you can do it, how you can go about it, what date, because you want to make sure you have a date in mind also, and kind of go in there before you communicate and meet with the administrator of the church or the pastor, whatever, whoever handles these particular events at your particular church, because every church is different. Every church operates differently. Every church operates differently. So, so you want to keep that in mind and working on which venue or area of the church you'll be able to use, and making sure provide them with the date that you would like, and they'll let you know if it's available, a date and time. You want to go in with structure, something in mind, a plan, a goal in mind. So you want to have all these things in mind before you go communicate with the administrator or pastor or whoever, again, handles the events in your particular church. So that's the extended team, the administrator, the pastor, and whoever the coordinator of the church, whatever the setup may be at your church, who handles a particular event, the graphic designer at your church. But you want to, again, that's the extended team. You want to have your immediate team in your dance ministry. You may have, I know I've had a secretary. You may want to consider some different people, because I utilize people who I know have gifts. Some people have gifts in decorating things. Some people are just gifted. They may not be gifted in a lot of areas, but they're gifted. They're reliable. They're reliable. They're one of those individuals who love to run errands for you. Oh, I'll get that for you. I'll get that for you. And they get it and they do it right. They do it with excellence. So you get someone who's reliable to run errands for you, whatever you may need. Get someone who's gifted in decorations. Have someone on your team who's gifted in finances or budgeting, who's really good in finances. Have someone who's good in note-taking / secretary, someone who's really good. There are people who are gifted in ministry and you just don't know about. And it's sometimes people are quiet gifters, should I say. They're quiet gifters. They're so gifted, but they don't really brag about it. You really don't know unless the topic happens to come up. Just like, for example, this is a little different, but it's a dance director at Changing the Generation in Atlanta one year. My co-director, she, Asia, I just love her. She was my hairstylist. Well, she ended up being my hairstylist. This is how it happened. She was like my co-director for like almost a year. And then one year she wanted to give me something for Christmas. And she said, I couldn't think of anything else. So I thought I'd give you a card to my salon to get your hair done. I was like, do you do hair? So she was like, yeah, and she's been my hairstylist ever since. The whole time I lived in Atlanta. I'm back in New Orleans, but I still reach out to her for different things. And she provides them for me, hair products or what have you. And then the assistance that I may need. So Gifted, there are quiet gifters, and she was one of them, and you never know. So it's, sometimes you just want to put it out there in your meetings when you're getting your immediate team together with the dance ministry, have a meeting and find out who's gifted, and just let everybody know what your needs are, and ask, okay, because some people may be shy, may not say something, may be like, and you just ask, well, so and so, are you gifted in? Who are you gifted in? Just bring it out of them. Sometimes you got to bring it out of those quiet, shy people, and they're the most gifted people. Because I'm one of them. They're the most gifted people in the world. All right, so that's your immediate team. And with that, also you want to think about somebody may be gifted in marketing. Gifted in marketing and promoting stuff outside the church. That's probably their job, the actual 9-to-5 job. And they just don't talk about it or don't brag about it. You just never know. So get somebody who's gifted in marketing. And that's where we're coming in as it relates to the topic, how to promote your dance ministry events in the church. And this particular individual, who probably can use an assistant, can assist you in getting this particular thing done and promoted. And when promoting it, you want to think about how you're going to promote it, how you're going to do it. There are different ways, of course, in the social media world. Yes, we social media down, honey. Social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads. Some people still do Snapchat. I forgot I had a Snapchat account. It's still there. There are news blasts, email blasts. There are flyers, brochures, leaflets. And those people who can afford the ministries, who can afford it, billboards that cost money. But yeah, those are different ways you can promote your ministry. But of course, when you thinking about these particular things, you want to think about the picture quality, the pixels, the picture quality and video quality. So like for these flyers, leaflets, brochures, you want to think about the picture quality. And that as a tester, you can take a picture, because everybody's phone is not all that great, the picture quality. Honestly, I have an iPhone, but my Samsung picture quality is so much better. Maybe I need to improve on my iPhone, but I don't know. We'll see. But some phones are not that great. So as a tester, I suggest or recommend you take a picture of, let's say, of your dance ministry, a group of your dance ministry, and email it to yourself and see how it comes up through the email. And if it comes up real good and clear, then that's a good picture, great picture quality and pixels that you can submit to the administrator or the graphic designer, whoever, if someone is in place who actually just specifically does that, because there was an individual at our church in Atlanta who actually did graphic designers and flyers for you. But some churches don't have anybody that actually is set up or working in ministry to actually do that for you. So you have to actually have to do it yourself. And so you want to keep these things in mind: the quality, the lighting, when you're taking pictures, outside lighting. Some people go outside, that they tend to have good lighting, but just make sure when you're taking pictures outside, don't have the sun. The cameraman should not be facing the sun. The cameraman's back should be to the sun. So that's a little tip for some people who may not know. You never know. Because that way the sunlight, natural light, can be on the group of dancers, and the cameraman can get a great quality picture. So you want to think about those things. If you're taking pictures inside, just consider the lighting as well. And again, do testers, kind of upload it, check it out. And then also on your phones, now you can kind of alter and edit the picture quality. And there are apps you can use and download on your phone to kind of edit your picture quality as well. But first and foremost, the foundation of the initial picture, you want to keep those things in mind, those tips and recommendations in mind when taking pictures or doing videos. Because when you have these flyers, you want to make sure when you're passing them out to people, flyers, brochures, leaflets, or what have you, you want to make sure it's not blurry, because I've seen some flyers that were blurry. I was like, oh, my eyes hurt, because it's so blurry. I was like, it's kind of, you know, and the font, you want to think about the font because some of the fonts is like, look, double. It's you want to think about those things as well. And the font, just make sure there aren't too many different types of fonts on these flyers and brochures, because that can be a bit too much as well. You want to make sure you have at least three, at the most, not at least, at the most three different fonts to kind of make it look nice and catchy. The graphics, the designs, and whatever you want. Just make sure it's not too much, because sometimes people tend to put too much on flyers. I'm using a flyer as an example. Some people tend to put too much information on flyers. It's too many decorations, too many words. You don't want to be too busy. Basically, you don't want it to be too busy, because when it's too busy, me personally, I really don't want to look at it because my eyes hurt. And I tend to put it to the side and wait until I'm ready to really look at all that information that's on this flyer. So you want to keep that in mind as well. People like me, people like me. And then you don't want to have too little information on these flyers, or whatever literature that you have. You don't want to have too little information, because too little information can be, it make your flyer look empty. Again, I'm using flyers as an example. It can look empty. It's like, okay, boring, plain, and that gives people an expectation of your event is going to be boring and plain. That's, you know, some people think that way. I do. Honestly, it's like, well, this person didn't put too much effort into this flyer. So it's like, you, to me, it's a reflection of you as a person. It's like your event is not going to have that much effort into it. So you don't want it to be too busy. You don't want it to be too empty either. And I've seen flyers whereby even on social media today, people posting stuff, and they have an event going on, but they don't put the actual city and state. Many times I have to ask, well, where is this venue? They put the venue information, they put the date, time, and the venue, and all decorations, pictures everywhere of this person, that person, and they have the address without the city and state. Sometimes they have the address without the city and state, and sometimes they don't have the address at all. And I'm like, okay, well, where is it? I would like to attend, and I find out it's in Virginia. Okay, after Googling it. So you want to think about those things as well. Make sure you have the who, what, when, where, why, and how. Answer those 6 questions, maybe 5, because not all the times you can really elaborate on why with these brochures and flyers. But who is putting it on? Your dance ministry's name. What are you doing? What is it? Dance workshop, conference, or concert? When is it? The date and the time. And who, or when, where, where, the location, including the city and the state. Okay. And of course, you can't really elaborate on why, because it'll be too much, making it too much. And how, if it's requiring people to register, you need to tell them how they can register via email, via link, website link, events, I think that's it. Eventbrite, that's it. Eventbrite, however, you just let them know how they can register and how much. The 2 how they can register and how much. And that'll help you determine on how to go about, your flyers. And speaking of how much, you want to, as far as registration goes for conferences or concerts, if you're charging, when we did our first dance workshop under my leadership in Atlanta, we did a dance workshop, and it was a registration fee. Different price for adults as well as kids. I think it was $10 for adults and $5 for kids of a certain age, over a certain age. Younger, they were free. But it was hard to get people to register early. It really was. It was a struggle. So everything was a little iffy at times to get people that coming in and registering, because that helped determine the budget and what's needed. And it was a little iffy. It had me nervous. And I put it out, I think it was like 4 to 6 months in advance, because you want to consider that as well. How far in advance? It's best to put your and have your information announced, your event announced far in advance. So that gives people time to get their little coins together, and also decide what they're, because everybody have busy lives. People have busy lives, and they have other conferences and events and workshops that are going on elsewhere, not just in the church, but also on their jobs. You know, their jobs are putting on retreats and stuff like that that they have to attend, and conferences. So you want to put it out far in advance. So with me, us putting it out far in advance with the registration, it was a little, if people registered a little sparingly, but I thank God towards the end, it was a great turnout. Of course, our people like to wait till the last minute. You know, they started registering early, well, later on as the time got closer, but more people registered at the door. Now, how do you get people to register early? That was a struggle for me. And I learned later that you can get people to register early by providing a discount. Provide a discount. Let's say if, for example, if I charge the individual adults $10 and the kids $5, then maybe I could do two adults for $15 as opposed to 20, and two kids for maybe $8, or two kids for the price of one. You know, just some kind of incentive, a discount to get people to register early, and as the time, and at the door, maybe you want to increase it up maybe $1 or $2, and that'll kind of push people and motivate people to, hey, let me get this in, because I like deals. You know, we like deals, and of course we like free, but when it comes to deals, we like to do that. So you want to keep those things in mind with the registration fee, and the marketing. That's part of the marketing deal. So, and now we're going to talk about after the early registration. We're going to keep those things in mind. Now, after everything is done, your ministry went forth, and whether it's a workshop, conference, or concert, after everything is done, you want to think about how you're going to invest, and prayerfully, you've made a profit, a great profit off of your event. Now, and when you do, whenever you do make profits off of your event, you want to think about reinvesting into your dance ministry. Whatever the ministry needs are, make sure you meet those needs. In addition to that, you want to invest into your pastor or your first lady or co-pastor. Birthdays, anniversaries, you want to plant seeds. You know, make it work. Make those seeds work. You were blessed by your event. Seeds were planted to your ministry. Your ministry's event, you plant seeds into others. You got to be a blessing. It's a blessing to be a blessing. So you reap what you sow. You reap what you sow. And so in addition to planting the seeds of the pastor, co-pastor, first lady, into the dance ministry itself, you can plant a seed into other ministries, such as the senior ministry, the youth ministry, the usher ministry, the drama ministry, the men ministry, whatever ministries are there, and you see a need. Just again, this should be God-led. But be a blessing to other ministries when you receive a profit, because it's so rewarding. It does the heart, and it does the soul, and it does the spirit good. When you bless others, it really does me a whole lot of good. I love blessing people because it is of God. We got to be cheerful givers, you know. We got to be cheerful givers in many areas of our lives. And also just think about investing in the church as a whole. A lot of churches tend to do building funds, or trying to raise money for, let's say something's broken, and like the roof, fix the roof. Whatever the church request, the pastor request is for the church, invest in that. So invest as others invest in you, in your ministry. All right, so in closing, that's how you can promote your dance ministry, just tips and recommendations on promoting your dance ministry events in the church. So again, think of a goal, think of the purpose, what you want to do first. Is it a dance workshop, conference, or a concert? What's the goal? What's the purpose? Get your team together, immediate team together, work with the extended team, which is the administrator, the graphic designer, the pastor, whatever they may be. And again, follow protocol. Whatever the protocol is, the steps that you have to go through to get things done so that your vision that God has given you as it relates to this particular event can come to fruition. Follow protocol and stay prayerful, because again, the devil is always busy and he has showed up so many times for our conference as well as our conference that I had while I was as a dance director at one church, our workshop, and as well as the conference at another dance, a church that I was a dance ministry leader of. And the devil knows how to come in towards the end. Oh, he knows how to stir things up. But guess what? When you keep God in it and stay prayerful and fast and pray, as I talked about on last week, the importance of fasting and praying, God is going to move in a mighty, mighty way in your events. So never leave God, never neglect God, never put him on the back burner. Keep him involved every step of the way and watch him move. Watch him move. So thank you for listening, and I hope you've been blessed by this. I really do. I hope you've been blessed promoting your dance ministry events in the church. Next week, we're going to talk about praise and worship. I have solidified my guest, and she will be here. It's a special treat for me, and it will be, I pray that it will be for you. Until then, you be blessed and have a great one.